Commission meeting to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Start with me.
Okay, Western Commissioner Hosey Blue,
Present.
Eastern Commissioner Bradley Jackson,
Present.
and Presiding Commissioner Lynn Morris.
Present. If you all join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. It's a great way to start out the day on a beautiful day. Thursday, October the 10th. So today we have to approve the today's agenda. We've got approval of last meeting minutes. We do have October the 3rd is the minutes that we'll be approving, previous minutes. And then also we have two financials to approve. We have the auditor's monthly report, quite a few pages and very small numbers. Hard for me to read. And we also have a certified court order, and it is 10-10-2024-01, and it is the sales tax for road and bridges. And I'll just read a couple of numbers that highlight numbers. Common 1, we paid $161,117.16 to Common 1. Common 2 received $157,923.75. Leaves in the pool a balance of $143,857.97. And we'll stay, other items of consideration will stay in the sequence of what we have. And I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
So moved.
Second that motion, sir.
Thank you very much. We got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and start. And the very first thing that we have today is the Employee Services Director Bryant, and we'll be doing the Employee of the Quarter. So, Ms. Amber, do you want to start out, make any comments, or do you want me to just go ahead and...
I wrote that all. I gave it all to you.
Okay. All right. Well, we have, and I think this is always very important, and it's not easy many times to choose only one employee for a quarter when we have so many good employees that do so many good things. But it's always important to try to recognize the best of the quarter, and that's what we're doing today. I'll read this statement here. In the third quarter, outstanding employee of the quarter and goes to Mark Thompson, C2 Road Barn. So really appreciate Mark. Congratulations. I think you've been here several years, haven't you?
Yeah.
How many years?
I think this is my 17th.
17th year. Well, thank you very much for that. Earlier this summer, Mark was mowing a road when he noticed an elderly lady struggling to trim a ditch in front of her house, which was on the right. It was in the right of way, using a string trimmer. He stopped, crossed the road, and mowed it for her. The lady let us know about his thoughtful gesture, which made a lasting positive impact. Mark is a true example of going above and beyond for the citizens of Christian County. Congratulations, Mark. That's absolutely awesome. So that is a mark of a great employee. So you deserve this. And so at this time, I'm not going to come down, but Commissioner Blue, we have Mark. Come on up here, and Amber, if you want to be in. Miranda, if you want to be in the picture, I think you should be in the picture. And I'm going to let Commissioner Blue. He's the Western Commissioner, and we're going to be presenting you a couple of gift certificates, gift cards, and then also I want you to hold this where people can see that. And we're going to get this to the headliner, so we'll get you that in the paper and then laminate the picture.
And we're going to
Okay.
put a little
And
gap here so that
Jackson,
Okay.
you
You
can
can
down
highway mark.
And
Make the
so-
gap right
Now,
about
maybe
there.
they'll see me, but
We'll
that's
do
okay. They
this,
don't need to
and
see
I'm
me.
gonna have him come up
So-
with the three.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, great.
Yeah.
Is this
All right.
okay for you?
Yeah, we'll do
All
this
right,
first.
well, I'm presenting you a gift card, and it's found a way to buy you happiness at a big whiskey store. Well, thank you.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All
And now
right.
Mark and the commissioners just go up.
Appreciate you. Do you want now?
If you'll go up and stand by Lynn.
Yeah, stand up here.
We'll give him the back to you. Okay.
This will make you taller.
Good deed.
Okay, that's what, thank you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Hey, thank you, guys. Congratulations. Thank you for what you do.
Well done.
For all 17 years, thank you.
Wow, I appreciate it.
Okay? All righty.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Be careful out there, doing what you do. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Employee Services Director's quarterly report. And I appreciate you doing the quarterly report.
Absolutely. Well, this quarter, our department saw a change. We have not had turnover in our HR department in a long time. And we do have a new benefits coordinator, so this quarter was a lot of time was spent on making that transition, which I feel we have successfully done. We have Debbie Goosey, who has taken over. She has we have all these different platforms which we do our insurance, and we have successfully transitioned her over. And she is running that now on her own. The last couple of weeks, she has been conducting the benefit interviews or benefit reviews with people, and she is already entering them into Tyler. So I feel that we are moving forward. But it has taken quite a bit of time this last quarter, so I did want to mention that as one of the things we've done. We also, I completed sexual harassment prevention, and I had added civility in the workplace to that training. We can talk about bullying now in addition to harassment. We had 100% participation for full-time employees. We did have a few part-time or reserve employees that are going to do it. I did report one of them, and the next time that they're in, they will watch that. So by the end of the year, we will have 100% compliance, which is one of the things that looks good for our insurance too. Another big thing that we did this quarter was we transitioned our applicant tracking and onboarding software system from Civic HR to Criterion. Civic HR, they sunset our program, so we had no choice but to move. And I did it kicking and screaming, and did not want to, and it has been a rough transition. I will be very honest, it is still up in the air if we will stay with Criterion, but IT, John Beatles and I are working on trying to fix the problems with that. I do not feel that we're missing any applicants. It's just on our end, the user end, and the hiring manager end, it is not user intuitive. And when we print things out, hiring managers are used to when we print the things out from that, they're used to looking at it like it is an application. And it's not coming out like that, and it's hard to read. So we're working with them on getting that fixed. That's just one of the issues. Another thing that the system does is every time an applicant comes in, when they fill out an application, I have automatic emails set up that says, thank you for applying, you should be hearing from somebody shortly. If you are chosen for an interview, you'll be hearing from somebody, and then if they're disqualified or not selected when the hiring manager goes in, and they choose not to move forward, there's all these different options. It's supposed to generate an automatic email, so we're in constant communication with our applicants. That's not working, and that is problematic for me, because that is one of the main reasons we have that type of system.
Right.
So we are working on it. We have transitioned over. I don't feel like we've lost any applicants, but on our end, we are trying to fix a few things. I got the numbers from Crowley on Monday about the renewal, and we are actively engaging with other options to make sure when we present those, which should be at the last, I hope to have it the 24th of October, if not the next meeting, which I think is Halloween. But we'll present one of those days, and I'm hoping that I gave Amy the number of the worst case scenario on Monday, and she said that she actually had set us up for it being higher. So we're okay. I've never had this high number. We had 136% of utilization of our insurance. I will say that I did expect that, because anytime you make a change, people use their insurance. It's just, we opened it to Mercy, we have United. We lowered all of those deductibles for people, made that affordable for people, so I did expect utilization to happen this year. We did have the cap in place, so we know it won't be more than the 14%. But anyway, I will let you know we're actively working on that, and we're getting bids on that, and they're coming in the next couple of weeks. We did our MEM workers' comp audit. We should always do that in July and August. We successfully completed that. Some of the things on here you'll notice, those are just basic things we continue to do every quarter. We have 255 employees. That's an all-time high. We hired 16 people, and we had 13 separations of employment. We had the flu shot clinic in our building, and we did random quarter drug testing. We did the employee fish fry, which I feel went off very well. And we have an article in the paper about it. I don't know if you guys saw it. I was misquoted. I did not say we've been doing it for 6 years. I said I've been here for 6 years. And we only did not do it since I've been here during COVID. But I know it's been going on longer. But I'm glad we brought it back. I think employees have really enjoyed that, and I'm glad. And they wrote a nice article and gave a shout out to some of the people who helped us with that. So I was pleased to see that. There are Department of Labor changes that we are monitoring very closely. That is one of the things that we have ongoing. And you'll see all the positions we have open. And that's all really for HR. Do you have any questions for HR?
Any comments, questions?
What is the deadline for us to do our annual review of the folks under our umbrella?
I have a meeting, a closed session set on the 24th with you to go over them. And then hopefully that next week you'll administer them, because October's your month.
Okay.
But we'll do what we always do, make a draft. I have closed session. I'll send it with you and finalize them.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to purchasing, Kim and Janine have been very busy. You can see all the things that they have been doing. They are always busy. Great staff over there. If you want to look through, she has new contracts. There was a bid contract amendment that we did for Kid Technology, which that is IT dropping the hours that we have with it, so that's money saving right there. She worked on several contract renewals. You can see the surplus things that she's great at that too. I mean, she's great about getting rid of our stuff we don't use, so we can have some credit money there. There's some other things that she has listed under miscellaneous I thought were important to share. We can look through those. I will note we are lucky enough that Kim Hopkinsville, our purchasing manager, is also the MAP president. She was able to attend the national convention, the National Institute of Governmental Purchasing, where MAP actually won the award for Outstanding Conference of the Year. So congratulations to her. That says a lot, and we're lucky to have her. that is it for purchasing. Any questions for purchasing, or Kim, you're still here? Yeah.
I might just add something for Miss Kim purchasing. The last week when Miss Kim Commission was sick, and Commissioner Jackson had made us a proclamation for Century Farm that I presented last week at the Missouri Council Extension dinner. Saw quite a few people were there, and I didn't know how to. Well, first of all, I couldn't find the laminator, and we found the laminator, and then I didn't know exactly how to operate the laminator, and I didn't really know how to do the proclamation to make it from handwriting to a beautiful piece. And Miss Kim came down, and she offered to help me, and I know she's busy doing everything else, and she helped me with the proclamation, took it over to Marketplace, and they helped us a little bit, and then we framed it, and then we had 5 beautiful pictures of some old pictures of the farm, because it's over 100 years old, 104 years old, and then some newer pictures, and we transferred those from the phone to the computer, to the copy machine, and we made the copies, and she laminated those, and they were a hit. They were absolutely a hit with the grandkids and everything the other night, last week. So just another example of great employees doing great things for our county. So I appreciate it.
Yep. She's very helpful.
Can I add that Mitch and IT helped us with the laminator?
No.
Group effort.
Huh?
Group effort.
Yeah.
So, any questions for purchasing at all?
No.
I'll talk a little bit about IT. I say it every time, but it's a little list that takes a ton of time. Even while doing all of the things that I'll list here, they received 259 tickets for service, which is a lot, and they are still managing to get all these tasks done while making things better and still helping people every day. They completed the new infrastructure wiring in the clerk's office. They were helping the courts with their docket software. We successfully migrated the GIS server. John has been, and all of IT has been really helpful. When we find something that we can do in-house, we figure it out, bring it in, and then that is money saved. And an example of that is the new election results webpage that allows the county, now that we have that, it allows them to end a vendor contract, as well as the meetings and agenda webpage. And then they help with the implementation at the sheriff's office of a new program. They've got new security cameras installed. Every time they find something like an onion, and they are like, oh, here's the problem. Oh, there's the problem. Oh, there's the problem. Then you have this giant thing to get to the original problem, but they are great about peeling that back and troubleshooting, and it's a process, and I watch them do it all the time, but they do it successfully, and it's a great team. I don't know. They just have done a lot of stuff. They still have some things that are in progress, and some of these have been on here for a bit. It's just because they're giant shops and they take a long time. When we separated from our third-party administrator, when we moved to in-house IT, we set up some contracts because I was afraid that we were going to. I had to set us a safety net, so to speak, because we did not have the full team in place, and I wasn't 100% sure how it would go, so I had to set some security nets in place. As our team has come on and exceeded far beyond what I thought we could do, we are now to the point, this is the 3rd year, 2025 will be the 3rd year, we will be able to eliminate most of those contracts because we have successfully brought this in-house. When we presented this, we said it was going to be a process, but I'm happy to say that we are on track to get there, and I could not say enough good things about those guys. So,
Ms. Amber, I'd like to say something about IT too, because with the team of Mitch and our newest and Bill and John, A lot of people still don't know that because my talents haven't been used, but I am a backup for IT. And
I'm not even a
but it shows you how well they've done because they've never called before. To help.
When they call me, it's mainly just to like bring them food.
Well, hey, great job, because helping us on sunshine requests, things that we are not used to, being able to have to look up things, I wouldn't know how to look those up and stuff. So I'm just extremely proud of the progress, just like Ms. Amber said, that we have made because of what you guys do in this county. We are so much better off today than we've been. So, good job.
All right, that's all I have. Is any questions for us?
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Very good report, as always. Thank
And I
you.
will be back. Remember, I did send you the email for the template for your reviews.
Okay.
Just do a draft. I set that closed session for the 24th,
Okay.
and we'll go through them together.
Okay. Very good. That's not the day. When is the Southwest Missouri Commissioners meeting next week?
That's the 16th.
And then the following.
Okay. All right. All right. I need to get that notice. I didn't get the notice. All right. The next item on the agenda is Mr. Teague, and we're going to be talking about the Circuit Court building, the little project that we've been doing over there.
Good morning, gentlemen. Recently, we have had some issues with the IT room's HVAC system. More heat load has been added as more components in that room has been added. And our current system is not keeping up. We started having some failures. The computer room was getting dangerously hot. We're risking shutting down all your servers. So IT got a hold of me. We've had Nights Heating and Air come out and work on this thing a few times, and it's just too much heat load for it. So we got Nights out. We got a quote. We got the mini split approved to be put in, and after that fact, we discovered the outdoor disconnect did not have adequate power to run it that we thought we were going to use. Called Hamby Construction. Hamby Construction did me a solid. They dropped everything. They come out and put that power in. If they hadn't done that, that would have cost us more to install that system, as they would have had to leave and come back at a later date. As it was already 3 weeks out to get them in here the first time, just because of their schedule. That estimated cost was $1,922.20. So we went ahead and was able to get the electricians in there and get that disconnect rewired and up and running before the system was fully installed, and it is up and running currently. And I contacted Ms. Finn about an emergency purchase. So it was qualified. I talked to Mr. Morris about it before we had it, and that's why I'm here to get the actual approval for the emergency purchase.
Yeah, good job. Do we need to actually vote on that? We've already spent the money, but
The only thing that we need to do is make sure that it's noted in the minutes.
okay.
And then we have the form for you to sign for the emergency purchase.
Okay. And I also want to commend you too, Richard, because we had some difficulties with noise and things that just normally happen when you're making improvements and fixing things, and it was bothering some of the judges and things, and the courts that were going on. We actually had an active court case going on, trial case with jury, and so I think what you did was great in working with the night company and making sure they came in early and got their drilling done before, again, today. Today, are they completed after today?
They was completed on
Yesterday.
Wednesday.
Yesterday. So just like we planned, Tuesday and Wednesday, they were going to drill earlier in the morning before they actually started court, and did that work out pretty well?
Yes.
Yeah, see, actually did a perfect job of making sure we took care of somebody that could get upset, and we did it, and I really appreciate it. And these IT guys, I found out were having to come in on weekends because of overheating systems. And we appreciate you guys coming in over weekends, but now hopefully this will take care of that, and we're business as usual again. So great job for everybody. Okay, next item is Highway Administrator Beatles. We're talking about the Parks Corn Road project.
Good morning. I'm presenting two different projects. First, we'll start with Parks Corn. We're going to go over the right-of-way and temporary construction easements that we have collected that are up for commission approval, and of course, recording and filing with these projects. For Parks Corn, both of these are ARPA stormwater projects, by the way. For Parks Corn, this is a box culvert being installed in place of a low water slab crossing that we have right there next to Hunter. All of the surrounding property is owned by the Johnson family, so we were lucky to just deal with one group there. We will be collecting 0.107 acres of new right-of-way and 0.192 acres of temporary construction easements. They declined to donate, so we did some waiver evaluations. Similar to Greenbridge, our comps came out around $20,000 an acre, give or take. So the offer to the Johnson family was $2,776, and they have accepted and signed, of course. So that is the first document that's in front of you that would need. If you have any questions, but of course, not recommendation for approval.
Any comment or questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
So I know there's a lot of people ready for this project to happen.
Yeah,
So,
both of these are actually out to bid. The bid opening for these two projects is on Halloween, so we'll have an update at that point too.
Once that happens, what's our time frame on having the project completed?
Again, it's going to be kind of winter at that point, but I hope that they can start some work. Because of ARPA, honestly, my focus has been on just getting these obligated before the end of this year, which is a requirement. But as we write these contracts, as they're out to bid, we've been giving most people about 3 months to complete the work. So, hopefully before any big spring rains, these will be completed.
Yeah, Commissioner Jackson's correct. I mean, we've had several people that have contacted me too, and so it is something that will certainly help. And I guess when you said that, because we all know that we've got a time limit on spending money, you don't have to have the projects completed, but you have to have them started. Are we okay on all our stormwater projects? I mean, are we going to have them started?
They just have to be obligated, which means we have to award the contract.
Okay,
That's all that has to happen.
that's all we
before
have
the
to
end
do,
of the year.
is if we have a contract signed for all 4 quadrants,
And a purchase order.
then we're going to be okay.
We're okay, but that doesn't mean that we're then going to be like, okay, you can start 2 years from now. They're still going to follow normal construction schedule, and we'll try to get them started as soon as possible. And of course, these contractors will want their funds, so they'll want to start as soon as possible as well.
And that's the same way with our 3 bridges, that
Yes.
we may not start it, but we're going to have contracts obligated, signed, and obligated, so we're good to go.
Well, Greenbridge is done.
Greenbridge is going to start.
Yes, that one's done, and they're going to start, they're moving equipment out this week. So, and they're planning to actually start the clearing and grubbing process on November 1st. So we're moving with that one.
I went to the chili supper, FFA chili supper, night before last, and there were some Greenbridge people there. They came over and talked to me, and they're excited about the fact that it's going to start.
Yeah, I was in contact with the contractor yesterday discussing how to get a 240,000-pound crane there and how to get a 160,000-pound crane there. So, yes, in the works.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're going to get excited when they see the equipment.
Yeah. But I would need a motion and approval for the first part.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
For Carn Parks Road.
Yeah, for Parks Corn, yeah.
Okay.
Second that motion, sir.
Okay, great. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It passes 3-0. Thank you.
The second one is for Green Road, which is also in Common One. Again, ARPA stormwater project. This project currently, there's a very big dip in the road where water crosses at multiple locations, which destroys private property, and also it's difficult for our road department to figure out where we put culverts and where we should convey water. So this project actually goes back onto private property quite a bit on the south end so that we can channel that water into one crossing location essentially, and then have a box culvert there. So we had two families that we had to work with on this one. The first one is the Webb family, 0.051 acres of land for a temporary construction easement, and they have donated that. And then the larger section is Bird Land Company. We have 0.028 acres of right-of-way, 0.387 of temporary construction easement, and they have also agreed to donate that. So any questions on this project or right-of-way, I'd be happy to answer.
No.
I just appreciate their contribution to the progress in the area.
You know what? I don't know whether we, in the past, what the tradition is of whether we send a letter or some type of thank you letter from the commission, but I would sure be glad to start something like that, because anytime a citizen does that or a family does that, they don't have to.
Yeah.
And the fact that they did, I think they should get some credit for it.
I think so we typically, once we record these, we send copies to those property owners. I think that would be nice to insert that letter when they send those copies. That would be nice.
Okay, I'll work with you, and then you work with Ms. Kim and I, and we'll get those done.
We'll draft something, yeah.
We'll start something that I think is a good thing to do.
Sounds very nice.
Okay.
If there's nothing further on that, I'd make a motion to accept both the donation of easements from the Webb and the Bird properties.
And I second that motion, sir.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Christian County Links Senate Bill 40 board appointments. See if I can get it right here. Okay, we've got I had been contacted by Miss Andrea Swope, the director of Christian County Links, been director there for several years, does a great job in this county, has a great group of employees and volunteers to work with this special group of people in our county, and they have 2 board positions that became open, and they did include some information about those 2 employees, or 2 board member candidates. If you've had time to
I believe there's 3.
Oh, 3. Okay, 3. I know one's a doctor. I kind of did a little research on them. I think these are people that have been working with Christian County Links and are pretty well known by Andrea Swope and her staff. So I think these are 3 really good candidates to take position. And then one of the things that Andrea Swope did for us, is going back to something that Commissioner Jackson and I had talked about, and maybe Commissioner Blue too, that one of the next projects that Ms. Kim's doing, we finally got our titles pretty well figured out for cars. That was a real hard job, but she and Ms. Kim, everybody's done a great job getting titles figured out. we want to try to figure out boards. And so she gave us a great list of all the board members, all kinds of information, how to get a hold of them, and then when their term expires. So one of the things that we wanted to have a notebook where we actually know ourselves before the terms expire, where we can kind of help monitor how they elect their board members and how everything works. And that's one of our next projects that I'm sure that Ms. Kim and I and other people can work on to make sure that our boards are more efficient. So I would entertain a motion to approve these three people.
If I'm reading this correctly, it says the two are listed, Grace Bryson and Brian Stone. Then it says
Yes.
we're currently vetting a potential new board member that we will recommend to you in the coming months. So,
Oh, okay, that's,
So I'm going off this copy right here that shows that it's Terry Chasteen, but it shows that her term expired on July 31st, 2024. So I think that was an error. So we just have the two.
yeah, I think so too. That's why I
Their
thought
terms
two.
have currently expired in July of 24, and here we are in October, so I'm not sure what the delay was
right.
in getting that to us. And I think that's one of the conversations that we had at the very beginning of this year, was trying to get a handle of all of the boards and commissions that we oversee, and having, you know, if you will, a book of, you know, those boards, their members, their terms, their expiration dates, to avoid this, and then put in place a policy in which we're going to appoint their board members, since that's one of our responsibilities. I know we had a conversation with regards to having a standardized process through all the boards and commissions, and I think somebody may have stated that maybe all the boards and commissions aren't made the same, and maybe we look at them individually and set policy for how we would do this one and how we would do that one. I don't know where we are in that process, but I think we need to make that a priority so that we kind of get that oversight process under control, and we can move forward. Because we do have some members of our Planning and Zoning Commission whose terms expired in January, and we have not addressed their reappointment or replacement. But by law, they're able to continue to serve until they are replaced or reappointed. So Planning and Zoning Commission technically is covered without too much issue, but I'm sure some clarity would be preferred than uncertainty.
On that Planning and Zoning Board, they did ask, but this is not exactly the way that we would like for things to work out, but they did ask those three individuals if they wanted to serve another term. They all indicated yes. There was a vote, and they were accepted by vote, but they never sent a notice back to us. And those are the things that we've got to work out. And that may be why that each board may be a little bit different. But I'm confident that not like the last two administrative assistants, executive administrative assistants, that Ms. Kim is going to be able to get this project done. I will work with her, and we will alphabetize all these boards, and we'll get it done. Maybe we can get it done before the end of this year. We've got just 2.5 months left. We need to get it done. We've talked about it, but every time that I've tried to do it in the past, before you know it, we have somebody gone, and it's all, and I don't even know where her last work is. I don't think we know. We were looking, and we can't find this
I've got a whole file of the boards from
Oh, you
previous,
did find that
going back
file?
to like 2021.
Okay, well, we're going to learn.
I think we should make it a legislative priority of ours to get this done before the end of the year, and I think we ought to have a study session so that we can bring in the clerk's office with their piece of that oversight. We can put these policies and procedures in place so that this doesn't happen again. Planning and zoning is covered. Every one of the boards and commissions that we oversee or have that statutory authority to appoint, that we're not dropping the ball. If we knew in July that their board members were expiring, we should have been on the phone in June to them to ask them, hey, what do you have? Do you have any applicants? We need to vet those candidates. In my opinion, we need to vet them and not just take a recommendation of somebody else. But whatever that process is, we need to have it in place as soon as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
And I would add to that I think that's very important also for the person that will sit here starting in January, because even this one, I'm ready for the motion. I'm ready to approve these two, and I'd have no problem with it, of course. But I do see the possibility, if we're not careful, if this commission's not careful, that people will think that we only get involved when it's a politically charged board appointment, but others, that's all right. Even though the commission still is, either way, as I've said from the beginning, when the commission votes to approve these today, we have done our job. We've not abdicated our job because we didn't vet them, because the law does not require us to vet it. It requires us to appoint them. And I don't disagree with Bradley that it's a good idea to do it. What I'm suggesting to you two gentlemen, and that's all it is, of course, is a suggestion, is that you follow what Bradley's saying and get a system in place so that all these boards feel, if I was an applicant for last year's especially board as it relates to the library, and there was 21 or whatever, and all of those had to go through this process with us. Here's these guys, they're not going through any process. Right. And it's the same scenario. The board, the commission is the one who appoints them. And so my thing it would be, first of all, hear me, I'm ready to make the motion, second it, go right forward on this. But I would encourage continuity in the days ahead. And even when you say, well, all boards are not the same, you got to be real careful there from my standpoint.
Absolutely.
Because it says who decides they're not the same, and that they're not the same enough that we don't have to go through this process, And again, from my perspective, I like this way of doing it, because this is a great board and great people, and they're willing to serve, and here's two of them willing to serve another 3-year term. I see no reason to cause those people to have to go back through things. But that's going to be the commission's decision in the days ahead. So I'm in favor of this, but I would encourage a template of some kind so that everyone that goes through this will feel we've been treated equally. All right, I'm ready.
I agree. The only thing, the other questions, so Commissioner Jackson and Commissioner Blue, so we might want to figure out how we incorporate these different chairmans of these boards, whatever you want to call them, president of the board, whatever, and get some input from them too. We can maybe just send them something to fill out or something, because I don't want the three of us to make all the decisions and not know some of the intricacies of things that go on in those board meetings. And we're doing the right thing. We're thinking the right process. But we just got to figure out, I want to make sure that all these other boards know what we're trying to do, and we need to get their ideas too. And then we go through it. I agree. Get it done before the end of this year, and we'll be so much better. And then see if we'd already had that notebook put together, we'd already know that those people expired in July, and we could have been calling and asking about that. What's going on with you guys? And so I think we're on the right path. Okay. So someone want to make a motion to approve these two people?
I would like to make that motion, sir, that we approve Grace Bryson and Brian Stone for another 3-year term with the CC Links.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 It passes. Okay. We have. I think that's the last thing on our agenda. I just want to make one comment, just to remind people. Next week, we will have a commission meeting on Tuesday, and it starts at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And Sheriff Brad Cole has some things that needs to be on the agenda, and he can't be on Thursday, so we're doing a Tuesday meeting. We will also have a Thursday meeting if necessary. So if anybody in the county, any office holder or employee needs to have a meeting on Thursday, we're going to have that meeting on Thursday too. Neither one of those Tuesday and Thursday conflicts with the Southwest Missouri meeting. Okay. Anything else that we need?
Just a comment from me to you gentlemen and to Ms. Kim and to others. I very much appreciate the fact you're being patient with me as I'm a primary caregiver for my wife after her knee replacement. She is improving, and I'm very thankful that technology's in place and I can do everything remotely that I can do here. Those are great. I could, of course, attend meetings remotely, but I have enough grown children that I usually can have someone come and stay with her during that time. She can do most of the things that she needs to do, but there's things, simple things. If she's in a recliner, the kind of recliner that you push the legs down with your legs, she can't do that. And so that sounds little, but if she happens to be in that, she's stuck there unless she crawls out the side or something. I just say all that to say I appreciate you gentlemen and your patience. I'm not abdicating my role, even though I'm down to, and what is it today? It's getting pretty short here, 82 days. But I plan to stay fully engaged during that time. But this has been a great help to me to be able to be there for her, and I think maybe one more week of doing remotely will be enough, and I'll be here when I need to be here. I'll be here for the meeting on Tuesday and so forth. So thank you.
Very good.
That's my comment.
Well, we appreciate you and appreciate everything you do, and so we're going to continue to help Miss Debbie and got to get her knee well where she can help rake the leaves.
Oh,
That'll be coming up pretty soon too. I got to get my wife's back well where she can rake leaves too. So anything else?
I have nothing.
All right, we are.